Welcome back to the Big O. We have the Super Treasure Hunt Finals. Today we'll have a champion on the Big O as well as a grand champion overall. Let's hop right into the action of the finals, race number 1. We have Lone Star in that Mercury Cougar on the inside lane, pole position, followed by Rez in that Evo. Rez is known to be fast. Will he be able to get around Lone Star here in race number 1? Arlo and Numskull tangle up in the back and spin around a little bit. They are battling. Rez does get by Lone Star, but Lone Star is on his tail. Will Lone Star pass him? Rez in reverse comes across the finish line. Lone Star in second, Numskull in third, and Arlo coming in fourth place. Let's slow it down for you and take a closer look on the Tiny Track Cars instant replay package. Lone Star gets a little sideways. Rez is able to get by on the outside, but keep an eye on Numskull and Arlo in the background. Numskull putting a block on Arlo, making sure he does not get by and get that extra point. Meanwhile, Rez and Lone Star are slipping, sliding, battling for first and second place, but Rez comes away with it, and first, second, third place comes by in reverse, and Arlo comes by forward. Thank you, Arlo, for keeping that thing straight. All right, race number 2, we shuffle, we shift, we spin one position clockwise. Rez in the pole position, followed by Arlo right behind him. After the turn, after the halfway point, after 4 races, we do shuffle the order, and then we'll continue that same clockwise rotation, so every driver gets a shot at the pole position, but the order is mixed up. And Rez putting on a show here, flying down the track. He spins around in that last turn to see if anyone's behind him, and puts down a scorching 15.566, which is a respectable time, but we have seen faster out of that Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10. Just out of frame there, you see Lone Star and Arlo battling, but Lone Star flips it over. Arlo and Numskull are able to get by eventually, but Lone Star does slow them up there. And unfortunately, we have a DNF for Lone Star from Live Young Diecast in that Mercury Cougar. I love that Cougar. I think that's a 68 Cougar if I would to guess. All right, Arlo in the pole position. Numskull behind him. But look at Rez. Rez is out front in the outside lane. Will Lone Star be able to get by? Arlo puts a slight block on Lone Star. He is not able to get by, and Rez flying. Rez pulling away again from the pack, putting down another scorching fast time of 15.633 and 4 more points on the board. Let's take a look at that slowed down here. Watch that battle between Lone Star and Arlo. Numskull gives him a love tap from the back. He says, "Let me by," but he did not get by. Arlo drifting across the finish line. It looks like Numskull does eventually pass Lone Star as he trickles in for 4th place. Lone Star is one of the trucks, one of the cars, one of the vehicles in contention for the Grand Championship coming into this finals. Him and Rez both had 74 points. So whoever comes away with more points in this finals will be the grand champion of the Super Treasure Hunt. But first, we also have to find out who is the champion on the Big O. Here we go, race number 4.
That's what are you doing? Get the race live. Why did you start the race an hour early? I just got here.
No, Patrick, I think we started right on time. I think you said 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Isn't that correct?
No, you dingus. It's 6 p.m. Pacific, the same time you start the race every single week.
Well, you're here now. That's all that matters, I guess, Patrick. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being part of the show. I guess that explains why the stands are only half full. We started an hour early. I'm sorry about that, folks. But the show must go on. We're in race 4, and let's slow that down for you and watch that replay here. Numskull in reverse. He will take this one. Look at that battle between Arlo and Rez. Arlo comes out victorious. Rez spins around backwards, allowing Lone Star to pass as well. Then he gets angry and spins out Lone Star, but is unable to pass as he crosses the finish line.
All right, well, catch me up. What do we got going on here? Whoa! Rez winning first, second, and third races with 4 points, putting on a clinic out there. He, folks, might just walk away with this one. I don't know if anyone will catch him.
Patrick, you know what they say, it's not over till the lady sings. And we have Lone Star in the pole position. Will he be able to put some points on the board and pull ahead of Rez? He's going by the expression, if you can't beat him, block him. So he blocked everybody and then taught Numskull how to do the block while he walks away with it. But he spins around backwards. Numskull in reverse comes on the inside. Numskull passes. Numskull, Arlo, Rez, Arlo, Numskull, Lone Star, Rez, Arlo. That's exactly how they finished, I think. That was so close I couldn't even tell who was there. It was like a purple and green black blur.
Yeah, good thing we have the replay package. We're going to slow that down for you here and watch what happened. Numskull putting a block on Rez and Arlo. and then catapults himself in reverse after Lone Star, who spins around. Numbskull takes the inside, pulls a fancy maneuver right between Rez and Lone Star, and takes first place, followed by Lone Star, Rez, and Arlo in fourth place.
That's some fancy driving in reverse in a Mustang nonetheless. It must be those fancy ID wheels he's got on that thing and that beautiful Super Treasure Hunt Spectre Flame paint. Well, they all have Super Treasure Hunt paint, but apparently the Mustangs is better. Now Numbskull in the pole position. Will he be able to take advantage as getting pushed down the track by Rez? Rez checks sideways just a little bit. Lone Star taps Rez, spins him out, and then Lone Star spins out himself. But Rez gets by Numbskull and spins around and takes it down the track for the finish line, followed by Numbskull, Lone Star, and Arlo in fourth place again, but finishing and putting more points on the board.
Ned, I'll tell you what, this is exciting racing, but I really wish this track crew would come up with a better solution for these corners to minimize these cars flipping and spinning. And I know you said they're on it, but what's the update on that?
Well, we're in the R&D stage right now, Patrick. We have been working with Russ at Spoolheads on a brand new and improved turn. We're testing and tuning right now, and we're hoping, fingers crossed, knock on wood, a watch pot never boils, whatever the expressions are, that these turns perform better and we have clean, consistent racing. What we want to see here is the faster cars being able to go out in front, run clean, and put in the laps in a tight pack down the track. Because the NASCAR Generations, folks, is going to be 6 cars running at once on this track, and they're coming up in just a short period of time. And with the NASCAR Generations, we have the Loopster halftime event where teams link together their Loopster castings and they race together down the track.
Ned, would you hush up about the next tournament? Look at all the action going on this track. We had people flipping over, people off the track, people hitting other people, lead changes out the wazoo, and a DNF from Rez, how will that affect the points? We shall see right now. Let's watch this replay. Rez is out front. He enters that turn, goes a little bit too high, comes down, catches a Juven, flips that Evo over. Numbskull right in his tail. Numbskull can't get by. But watch Numbskull as they come out of this turn. I believe he gets hit really hard by Lone Star right there, catapulting him even further ahead. Lone Star is able to keep the momentum and take second place. And we see Arlo might have got hung up by Rez just a little bit, but was able to get by.
Patrick, look at those scores. Numbskull takes first place and moves out front with 21 points. 19 for Rez and a tie between Lone Star and Arlo. In this 8th and final race, the cars you want to keep an eye on are Rez and Numbskull in that outside lane. Will Rez be able to get out in front on the outside lane? And will Numbskull be able to get by, or will he get stuck behind? And oh, Rez rolls over. Arlo on the outside. Now Arlo pulling away with it. What will happen with Lone Star and Numbskull? Will they get stuck behind Rez? A Rez DNF means he will not be the champion of the Big O. Arlo comes in first. Lone Star comes in second. And here comes Numbskull, gets by Rez and takes third place. And folks, I believe that will make Numbskull the champion of the Big O. But we're going to slow that down for you, and then we'll show the points totals here. Take a look at Rez. He enters that turn a little too high, flips that Evo over on its hood. And in the last-ditch effort, he tries to put a block maneuver on. And I think he's hoping someone pushes him down the track so he's able to finish and get some points. But Arlo is able to get by. Arlo out front. Close and personal with Arlo there as he takes the victory in race number 4. And then Lone Star trickles by. He must have got caught up with Rez just a little bit. And Numbskull must have really got caught up with Rez, but is able to get by and take third place and 2 points. And folks, that does make Numbskull the champion, the winner of the Big O portion of the Super Treasure Hunt tournament. And an update on the overall Grand Championship. We have Rez out front with 93 points, Lone Star with 91, and Arlo with 71. Congratulations, Rez, on being the Grand Champion. Congratulations for Numbskull for being the champion of the Big O. And thank you to everybody who has raced here at the Big O for the Super Treasure Hunt tournament.